Hello, good evening, and welcome. On behalf of GE HealthCare and in collaboration with the Intensive Care Society, welcome to Ultra Live. And you do look like you are alive, and by the end of this evening, we will make you hashtag Ultra Live. We are Ultra Live here in Birmingham because this is the first healthcare professional ultrasound TV game show. My name is Piers Gibbon, and tonight I am your emergency room MC. So it's my job to keep us on track and on time, and as I said, we are hashtag Ultra Live, so things are going to go very, very wrong, which I know will be much more amusing than when they go very, very right. So I will need to contain the chaos just a little bit. I may be stepping on stage and stopping experts in mid-flow so that we can get on with the chaos, and then we can deliver you safely back to the bar at the end of the show. Oh, yes. It's good to get a sense of your priorities out there. Yes. Do we want to go to the bar? Yes, we can. So, our contestants tonight are you. And they will be competing against each other and against the clock in a bid to become the Ultrasound winner, and they will win a collection of utterly tiny trivial prizes, all of which we believe stay well under the £6 limit. This has been handcrafted from the finest plastic by our little elves backstage. Now, I also have a hashtag Ultra Live connection to the TV gallery up there, and Victoria from GE HealthCare has inserted a tiny little monitor so far up into my auricular canal that it is actually connected directly to my temporal lobe, so I am now a remote control human for you, and this does mean that I can relay instructions to the competitors, to the judges, and indeed to you. So in the unlikely event of an emergency, I will be able to tell us what to do. So if anything does happen, we will all stand up gracefully, and we will panic calmly, like true healthcare professionals, and we will walk elegantly towards the emergency exits, which are to your left and to your right, both in front of you and at the back as well. Now, it's also my job to prove to you that clinical education does not have to be boring. Now, I hear in your heads the voice going like at a pantomime, oh, yes, it does. And then I go, oh, no, it doesn't. Because even if you are not randomly selected to be a contestant on stage tonight, there will be no snoozing in your seats, no slumping down towards the floor, because everyone sitting here and in the live audience here and watching from home anywhere around the planet, you will all be joining in. You will be applauding the correct answers wildly, and when I then add up the scores incorrectly, you will then be hooting in unison and in derision at my dyscalculia. No, it'll be fine. And for those of you who are joining in via the internet, hello, we can see you using technologies that you haven't even heard of. And everyone, both here and there and everywhere, can also participate via Slido. And that means you can play with your phones during this presentation, because there is an app called Slido. It's free. It's available. What do you mean, face not recognized? Is the only one I've got? Here we go. Here we go. Yes, Slido is here. And all you need to do is type in the code for this event, which is 2218359. That number again, 2218359. That will let you into the Slido room for here, for tonight, for live, and that means you can ask questions, give feedback, type in anything you like, really, within the bounds of human decency. And we want to hear from you because we want to hear from everyone in this room and everyone watching around the planet, and GE need to hear from you. So there may not be time to answer every single question live on stage with our experts, but I can promise you this: every single question you ask on Slido will be seen by the GE experts. And of course, we can all watch the show back again on Vimeo and relive the fun and the horror. So, are you alive? Are you awake? Are you ready? Well, that's actually better than I was expecting. That's very good. All I need to do, therefore, is just practice a little bit of the routine that we're going to get you into. So before I introduce on stage one of our stars tonight, I need to check your temperature and your blood oxygen levels and other vitals. So a lot of the games tonight are based on against the clock. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And the only way we can start the clock running is when you cue it. So you will hear again and again tonight the phrase, and in 3, 2, 1, go. Except it doesn't work if I say it. So, in 3, 2, 1, go. Pretty good. One more time. In 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. You're going to have fun. The clock will start when it needs to, and the contestants need you to support them. So it's time for you to meet one of our stars tonight. Your game show host tonight is a devoted GP, and he's the resident doctor on ITV's Lorraine and Good Morning Britain. Oh, yes. So please give a huge GE welcome to Dr. Amir Khan!
Hi, thank you, Piers, and hello, everyone. It's so nice to see you all. I'm really excited about tonight. We've got lots of fun to come, so bear with us. Hope you're all well. Welcome to those here in our live audience, and welcome to those who are joining the live stream. We have viewers from across the globe this evening, so hello to wherever you are, and thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to Ultra Live, the game show that puts your ultrasound knowledge to the test. I'm your game show host for today, and please also welcome Piers, who you've already met, who will be our master of ceremonies and scorekeeper. You've got to keep an eye on him. I've got to say that before we start. So thank you, Piers. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce you to a gentleman who created the concept and who is leading our clinical faculty this evening. An intensive care and acute medicine consultant from William Harvey Hospital and honorary senior lecturer at Queen Mary's University Hospital in London. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Prashant Parulekar. Woo! Prashant, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good. You don't look as excited as I thought you might.
Give it time.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about this whole setup, this game show, and how did you come up with the idea?
Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I used to read boring textbooks when I was younger, and I thought it'll be a bit of fun doing this. This is pure teamwork from everyone. GE have been monumental, ICS for helping with this, the panel of experts you're going to see, apart from Ash. But yes, I want to thank everyone for coming, and I hope you like it. If you don't, well, that's the way it goes.
No. You're going to like it. You're going to like it. It is good. Thank you so much, Prash. We're all looking forward to this evening. So take a seat, everyone, and let's begin. Now, Ultra Live consists of 4 nail-biting rounds that are all based on well-known TV shows. The rounds are Dr. Said, Ultrafound, I See You, and the final face-off. We'll learn more about each round as we go along. I'll explain everything as we go. We start this evening in the first round with 8 contestants. 8 people who think they've got what it takes to be crowned our Ultra winner. And we have actually got a crown for this. Believe me, they don't know what they've signed themselves up for. They really don't. We've got some probing questions. There's some tricky tasks ahead of them. Points will be awarded for questions answered correctly, and only the contestants with the highest points will move on to the next round. It is brutal. In the end, there can only be one winner. We are giving away a fantastic prize, which is an educational grant to receive a V-Scan Air. Ooh. Oh, we are going to get on. I like this audience. Right, is everyone ready? Yes. Okay, good. Let's get ready to play Ultra Live. I know. It wasn't what you were expecting, is it? It gets better and better with each round, trust me. Yeah.
Wonderful. So we are going to need some contestants. And I see people shifting in their seats out there, but you signed up for it. You know that you could be chosen tonight. So we have a tombola system here. No expense spared, no expense paid indeed. So spin it. Let's see who will be our first contestant on Team A. Let's have a listen. Now we have to work our way how to get into it without using an ultrasound kit.
Like,
we're going to need some kind of... Thank you very much. Okay, we have Ibrahim!
Ibrahim!
Come on down!
Come on down,
Round of
Ibrahim!
applause. Woo! Okay, roll and spin. Roll and spin. We're going to need 4 on each team, Team A and Team B. If you could head that way. No, go.
Just come
Yes.
to the end of... If you come this way,
We need some kind of medical device that reaches in and selects...
just there.
Sunil! Come on
Sunil!
down!
Woo!
Keep them coming, keep them coming.
Sunil, do you want to just stand next to Ibrahim there? Just
You need longer fingers or a small pokey device that picks things out of body cavities. There we go. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Tension rising. Amna!
Amina!
Amna!
Yes.
Amna, come on down!
Woo!
Thank you, Amna. And you will be joining them on Team A, which is looking good, I might say.
Yeah.
One more. Okay. And it is, I've just torn it in half, so it's Jafar! Jafar!
Jafar!
Welcome. So that is a complete
True.
Team A. And let's have another one.
Right, Team A is complete.
Team A is complete. You can start conferring now, which may become illegal later. And let's have a look. This is Team B. Could even call them the captain of Team B. Shruti!
Fruity,
Come on down!
come on down.
Woo! Yes. You won't be needing your emotional support handbag. We will look after you. One more. Thank you. And joining you on Team B up here will be Ben. Ben, do we have a Ben? Yes.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. And also joining you on Team B, Ketan. Ketan is in the house.
Yes.
Woo! There you go. And one more. Team B. And finally, this is your last chance, everybody. Think of those key rings you could be winning. Ooh. Rachel! Come on down!
Woo!
Do we have a Rachel? Yes, we do. So, huge round of applause for all of our contestants. Thank you very much for joining us. Oh, pretty good set of teams we have here. So we're also running an unofficial betting ring as well. So if you want to start placing your bets online on Slido, I am joking. I'm sure the General Medical Council would not approve of that. So
We've got two pretty good, strong teams here,
Yep.
Piers. I think it's going to be a good game. What do you reckon?
Yep. And the first person who is chosen, you're not team captain, it's more democratic, but you do get the first chance to use your fast-fingered action on the buzzers.
Yes. So let's begin round 1 of the first game, which is called Family Fortune. No, not Family Fortunes. Dr. Said. Dr. Said. Now, in this game, we asked 100 healthcare professionals a question and have populated the top 5 answers on their responses. Our contestants have been split into these two beautiful teams, A and B, and they'll compete against each other to answer the questions. For each question, the top 5 answer will appear on the board, and it's up to our team to decide what they think are the highest pointed answers, or the most popular answers. One member of each team will be nominated to step forward. We'll just do that in order. So the one closest to the buzzer will go first, and we'll work our way down and begin this round in a face-off. So it's the fastest finger first round. I know that sounds a bit dodgy, but that's what it is. Right.
And also, just a reminder, you have only one microphone per team. So the person who has the answer, grab that microphone from the table or from your competitors or from your teammates and speak loudly and proudly into it when you have the answer.
Yes. Whoever buzzes in the quickest with the correct answer will receive control of the board and has the option of playing if you're feeling confident or passing control to the other team. The team with control will try to reveal all highest pointing answers to the questions. Wrong answers will result in a strike. If the team receives 3 strikes without completing the board, control is passed to the other team. It's a battle between the 2 teams to complete the board with the highest pointed score, as only one team will proceed to the next round. If that's a lot of words, just think family fortunes, which I'm not allowed to mention.
Royalty.
Now, Team A and Team B, you've got your first players ready. Are you ready with your fingers on your buzzers? Yes. Microphone in the other hand. Right, Shruti, are you ready? You ready? You're looking ready. Here we go. You've got the first question. So remember, I'm going to ask the question, you buzz in, and the person with the quickest buzzer answers, and we'll see whether you get the top answer. So, question number 1. In your biggest ever game changer echo, what cardiac structure was your diagnosis based on?
Right ventricle.
Right ventricle. Should we see if that's there? Ooh. Good, good. It was the 3rd most popular answer. That means, yes, let's give him a round of applause. So, Shruti, you have a chance to steal here, because if you can get one of those top 2 answers, you can take control of that board.
It's left ventricle.
Left ventricle. Let's see if it's there. Oh, yes! Shruti! Well done. I feel like you had a bit of help there, but we'll let you have it. Now, Shruti, do you want to play or pass? You can confer with your team members. You can, if you're not confident that you can get the rest of the 3 answers, you can pass it across. You're going to play. Oh, you guys are frozen out for the time being. Okay, right, Ben, over to you if you can take that microphone. So, what do you think you can get any of those answers again? Let me ask it again. In your biggest ever game changer echo, what cardiac structure was your diagnosis based on?
Aorta.
The aorta, is that there? Oh, Ben! Like, no, you've lost a life, but don't worry, you've still got 2 more lives. So, Ketan, do you want to go next? You need the microphone.
Grab
Ketan.
the mic.
Pericardium.
The pericardium, is that there? Where's the top answer? Woo! Ketan, good lad, good lad. Right, Rachel, you've got 2, that's the bottom 2 answers. They're always a bit harder to get. Do you reckon you can get them? You need the microphone, Rachel.
Aortic valve.
The aortic valve, is that there? Let's have a look. Oh, it's there. Right, Shruti, you've not got the help this time you had the first time around, so you've got to get the bottom answer. That's always the hard. Team B, you can confer and see there might be a chance to steal if Shruti doesn't get this. Go ahead, Shruti, what do you think it is?
No pressure, right?
No pressure at all.
No conferring, Rachel. Oh, I'm going to have to rush you, Shruti. We're running out of time.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, you've lost a life there. You can pass it to Ben. You've still got 1 more life left. Ben, over to you. In 3, 2, 1.
Atria.
Oh,
No.
is the atria there?
No.
No! Right, team, we have got a chance to steal here. So we're going to ask your team captain at the head, Ibrahim. Do you want to tell us what you think it is?
Well, it says cardiac structure, and those are all cardiac structures. I don't think there's others apart from atria. We said atria already, so IVC?
The IVC is up there. Way! That means Team A get all the points. Don't worry, there is another round, though, of this, so we're going to go again. Let's move to the next round. Question 2. So, can we have the second people, Ben and Sunil, you're up at the buzzers? Okay, here we go. If you could only inspect one anatomical structure with POCUS to assess fluid status, what would it be? Ben?
Well, I think people would say IVC.
IVC? It's the top answer!
Oh,
Ben, you've redeemed yourself there. You've redeemed yourself. Right, so do you want to play or pass? Give the people what they want, Ben. Give the people what they want. He's going to play! Right, Shruti, over to you. Can you get another one of those answers? Say that again.
Right ventricle.
The right ventricle, is it there? Way! Right ventricle's there. Ketan, over to you.
Left atrium.
The left atrium. Oh, we've lost a life. Not to worry, Rachel, you've still got 2 more lives left. Go ahead.
Left ventricle.
Yeah! Well done. Ben, back to you. You're looking nervous. You can do it. Come on.
Vexus.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Oh, sneaky answer. It's not there. It's not there. Shruti, not to worry. You've still got 1 more life left.
Related to only ultrasound or any other structure?
Well, it's an ultrasound quiz. So.
Cruel, but
We have to
fair.
ask the experts. But yes, the
Lungs,
expert has
lungs.
spoken. The lungs, are they there? Yes! Right, Ketan, you've got a chance to win this round. No conferring. The portal vein.
Very nice, very nice.
Oh, it's not there. That means you guys have a chance to steal. Do you want to confer and come up with an answer between you? Yeah. Are you ready?
Pleura.
The pleura.
Cavity.
The pleural cavity. Oh, no! That means Team B get all the points there. Let's see what that missing answer was. The heart.
The most easiest one, right?
We asked 100
I
clinical
know.
people. What can we say? Right. Final round in this game. So, who's coming up? Who have we got? Ketan? Okay, here we go, here we go. Right, this is a nice, easy one. You press the red button. Yeah, it's the red button, isn't it?
Just
Yeah.
mash them all.
Yeah.
Just press them both. Okay, here we go. Quickest finger first. Name any button found on an ultrasound machine. Ketan? Say again?
Color mode.
The color mode. Is that there? No! See, even I'm not an ultrasound person, and I can answer this question. Right. Come on. Any button found on the ultrasound machine.
So it's depth.
The depth. Is the depth there? It's there! Woo! Now, Team A, do you want to play or pass? We're playing, we're playing! Come on. Right. Go ahead. What do you reckon? Another button found.
Gain.
Gain. Is gain there? Yes, it's the top answer. Well done. Ibrahim, over to you.
M mode.
Oh,
The
nice.
end mode. It's not there.
shout, though. Good
It's not there. Right, Sunil, come on. You've got 2 more lives.
Freeze.
Freeze. Is freeze there? Yes! Come on! Right. We're back to the beginning now. 2 more answers left to find.
Color Doppler.
Color Doppler.
No.
I feel like we might have had that before already. Yeah, we did. Not to worry, you've still got 1 more life left. Over to you.
Contrast.
Contrast. Is contrast there? Oh, no! Right, Team B, you've got a chance to steal here. Do you want to confer and come up with an answer? This is to actually move through to the next round if you get this right. If you get it wrong, Team A moves through.
2D.
2D?
No.
No! Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's find out what those missing answers were. On, off?
By the way, guys, before we do, oh, it's gone out. So what was the last one?
Pulse wave Doppler.
Well done. That means Team A are the winners. Let's put it together for Team A. Team A, you go through to the next round. Team B, I'm so sorry, commiserations. You don't leave empty-handed. Rachel, slow down, slow down. You get a keyring. Come on. Woo! An ultra-live keyring. I think you might get them in your goodie bags anyway, but have another one. Now, Team A, you will move through to the next round. So, Piers, where are they going?
They're coming off stage to be fitted with microphones.
Oh, you're going that. So if you just come down
contracts.
here and past Piers.
There you go. Backstage.
Congratulations,
They
congratulations.
Will sort you out.
Let's give them another round of applause.
Congratulations.
Wasn't that fun? And that is just a taste of what's to come. It gets better and better. But before the next game show, we are going to hand it over to Dr. Prashant Parulekar, one of our experts, and Piers for the first panel discussion. And I will see you all in a moment. See you soon.
Thank you. So here we have our first expert panel. So, ladies and gentlemen, swiveling gently in your direction, we have Dr. Marcus Peck, Dr. Johnny Wilkinson, Dr. Justin Kirk-Bailey, and Dr. Ashley Miller. Wonderful. And we will be swiveling them back forwards every so often, so you'll get a good chance to get to know these people. They all have the job title of intensive care and anesthesia consultant, but they all do it at different hospitals. So from the left, Dr. Marcus Peck at Frimley Park Hospital, Dr. Johnny Wilkinson at Northampton General, Dr. Justin Kirk-Bailey at the Royal Surrey NHS Trust, and Dr. Ashley Miller for Shrewsbury and Telford Hospitals. Welcome one and all. I'll hand it over to you, Prash.
Thanks, Piers. Right, so I think there are some interesting concepts about fluid response. What? And you can't take me seriously, I know, but I'm trying. There are some interesting concepts about fluid tolerance and fluid responsiveness. There's a whole debate, loads of evidence out there. I'll start with Ash. You all right? Good, good. So in a patient, let's say with RV failure in the ICU, how are you going to manage fluids? Any tips?
Yeah, good question. You've got a patient with right ventricular failure and you want to know whether giving them fluid is going to be beneficial or harmful. A simple question, but actually it has quite a complicated answer, and it's complicated for a number of reasons that are written up on the screen there. Probably the key feature of those is that there's a narrow window between ensuring adequate preload for a failing RV, but then not overloading it. But what if I told you there was one simple ultrasound sign that we could use that's really useful to guide our decision making? So our hearts are constrained within the pericardium, and so if the right heart significantly dilates, then by definition the left heart has to be squashed. And if the left ventricle is squashed, it can't fill properly, and therefore its output is going to be reduced. So septal deviation is your key. If you have a patient with significant septal deviation, they are unlikely to respond favorably to a fluid bolus, and in fact, they're probably going to get better with either afterload reduction or volume removal, and you can use that septal deviation as a target for treatment.
Great, thanks, Ash. Right. Justin, you all right?
Yeah, all good.
Good, good. So let's talk about fluid tolerance then. So personally, I like to use echo for fluid tolerance more than fluid responsiveness, but what are your thoughts about how to do it and what you just tell the audience maybe?
Well, I think people like us that work on intensive care, we've all got our favourite physiological target. We've all got a number that we like to make better. That might be mean arterial pressure or lactate or central venous oxygen saturation. So you've got to have one of those numbers in mind. And then what we like to do, we've got people who've got hypovolemia or at least hypotension. We want to give them a fluid bolus. I want to know whether I'm going to give them 100 mils or 250 mils of my chosen fluid, plasmite 148 or something like that. Trouble is, though, that the patients don't come along always with a big list of all their medications, in a piece of paper or tattooed on them or something like that. And I don't know if they're on 4, 5, 6 antihypertensives. And the problem is that you just don't know what you don't know. So you've no idea how that heart's going to perform and whether or not you giving them 250 mils is going to put them into crashing failure and pulmonary edema. So if I'm going to make my number nicer, I need to have an idea of how much fluid I'm going to be able to give them. And if I do a cheeky little subcostal view and have a look at heart and it looks like this one, and it's thick and chunky and muscly, I know that this is a stiff ventricle and too much fluid is going to go rushing straight back up those pulmonary veins into the lungs. So I have a look, I now know what to do, and I might tail back my fluid bolus appropriately and then make my number nicer, but with an element of safety.
Great, thanks, Justin. Very, very thorough there. Thanks. Johnny, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You all right?
So let's say we are assessing fluid responsiveness. Obviously, there are many ways to do this. Invasive devices, non-invasive like echo. Some people in the audience probably use PA caths. If we're using echo, how would you assess at the bedside? Any tips to give the audience?
Well, I don't know about the rest of the panel or anyone in the room, in fact, but I like a good passive leg raise. I think everyone likes a good passive leg raise. Thank you. I think passive leg raise is an underused tool, actually. It's very simple. You don't need to give anyone a bolus of IV fluid to assess whether they're preload tolerant, because everyone's fluid responsive. So passive leg raise, and then put your ultrasound probe on, and you can actually see what's going on. See if you get an improvement in the filling of the chambers, a decrease in the heart rate, an increase in blood pressure, and even better, if you get one of the funky machines, there's a button called Auto VTI, and essentially you press that, and it gives you a marker of what the cardiac output is. So lift the legs, 600 mils of blood back into the central circulation, do a PLR, and then get your marker on that one, drop the legs back down. If the heart rate goes back up again, blood pressure drops, the chamber's empty, well, I think your answer is they're probably going to be fluid tolerant. So you've given them an auto transfusion, you've assessed it, and you haven't given them any IV fluid, which can be harmful, and we all know that patients aren't really hypovolemic on the wards very often. So that is my answer, a good passive leg raise with a probe.
Nice, thank you, thank you. Marcus, last but not least. Right, so let's say you're in charge of the ICU, and you see a patient and you want to assess their fluid status, whether they've been given too much fluid. How can you do that? Any tips?
If they weren't really hypovolemic before you come in, they're likely to be by the time they've been in the ICU for a week. It's very easy. People acquire fluid. And the lung ultrasound can really help. So for me, I think, the thing that, I'm looking for is these things. These are called A lines, these horizontal lines that we see through the lung. But the problem is that as lungs get more congested, they get more and more of these long searchlight beams called B lines you can see moving from left to right across the screen. And when the lungs completely consolidated, it looks like it does on the right-hand side. So what we need to know is, is the heart, is the left atrial pressure high? And so, as you can see, we've got some annotated chambers here, but the heart on the right of the screen here, you can see the left atrium's dilated, but what I want you to look at is the bit between the two atria, the atrial septum. And you'll see on the left, the happy one flicks backwards and forwards through the cycle, but the one on the right is fixed from left to right. And we know that that means the left atrium is probably dilated and under high pressure. So if you see that sign in association with these B lines, along with a thin pleura and the lines right across the chest, both left and right, you got a very good indication of raised left atrial pressure, and that person needs to be had fluid taken off. It's one of the big things that helps you understand whether it's a pure lung problem or a heart problem that's causing the respiratory failure. So yeah, thanks.
It's all right. Great. Thanks, Marcus. How are we doing? How are we doing? Got time?
Excellent for time, and actually,
got time?
because the experts are given such nicely concise answers, you've got a bit of time for some lightning questions.
You know what? Bit random. Can I ask the audience, actually, what do people use echo for fluid responsiveness, or do they prefer invasive methods? So maybe show of hands for invasive? No? No one?
Oh, two.
Two. And how about ultrasound? Do people use it? Be a bit awkward if you didn't, given you're here.
Well done.
Okay, great. Okay, interesting. I've got nothing to say now. So fluid responsiveness. So apart from VTI, any other? Do you guys use it? Do you use
I do actually. Yeah, I do. I use it because only where I have somebody with low predicted tolerance, I then want to know that if I give fluid, something kind of positive happens, and I definitely want to know when they're unresponsive. So for me, yeah, I think it's important, but not trying to predict it necessarily. I want to observe it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. How about you guys? Anything?
I was just about to say, I think titrating IV fluid into a patient in order to get beelines on the lungs is not a good and safe thing to do. So
yeah, I think once you reach the plateau phase of the Starling curve, you've gone too far, haven't you? One thing I would say, I think Ash put up the septal deviation. So with massive PEs, I think fluid is extremely controversial. And I don't know about you guys or anyone else, but I tend to titrate fluid. And once you start to see that septum go flat in cystine diastole, which suggests volume and pressure overload, I absolutely stop fluid. I'd almost say it's a contraindication. So be cautious with massive PE, that's what I'd say.
Fantastic. And a lot of interest on Slido. People are saying enjoying the A lines and your B lines. And in fact, the only negative note is that people want key rings. But there's only one way to get key rings, and that's to turn up in Birmingham and compete on stage. And also the passive leg raise is very popular at home. I don't know what they're talking about. I think they're talking about having a drink and doing the passive leg raise at the same time. So, ladies and gentlemen, huge thanks to our experts. Thank you. They will be swiveling round again in just a few moments. Thank you. And what is behind the screen now?
Come on!
You weren't
Let's give our
expecting
model
that.
a round of applause. Everybody say hello to Lucy. Now, you're all warmed up, I think. I hope you are anyway. And are you ready for round 2 of the game show? Yes, you are. Now, this round is called Ultrasound. See what I did there? See what I know, I'm a genius, I know. Now, each one of the contestants will be set a task to scan a particular part of Lucy's body as quickly as possible to the satisfaction of our judges, who are the expert panel you were just hearing from. When each judge is happy, they will raise their hand, and when all 5 have raised their hands, they'll be asked to scan a new body part. They will have just 2 minutes to scan as many body parts to the judges' satisfaction. So let's bring back our reunited 90s boy band. No, the judges. Here we go. Come on in. Here we go. Look at these handsome fellas. There we go. It's like Birmingham's answer to the Jackson 5. Now, don't worry. One contestant will scan at a time, and the waiting 3 contestants will be blindfolded and unable to hear, as they will have their own silent disco in the back. We all want to kind of be part of that as well, don't we? Who will win and who will wobble? Let's welcome back our first contestant. Who is it? Sunil! Come on up. Just stand behind there, Sunil. Now, Sunil, are you familiar with that scanning machine? You know how to use it? That's a very confident nod, isn't it? It's a very confident nod. And Piers, just going to make sure the other contestants, they've got blindfolds on and earmuffs.
They're very competitive, so I'm just going to double check.
No cheating.
Okay, yes, they've got blindfolds on, they've got their backs to me, and they can't hear me insulting them. Yeah, we're good to go. They're nodding.
Oh, and Sunil is lubing up already. Okay, so you guys know how this goes. Let's count this in. Are you ready, Sunil? Yeah, he was born ready, wasn't he? Right, here we go. After 3, 2, 1. Name a body part.
Go!
Apical 4-chamber view.
The apical 4-chamber view. Oh, Sunil, you're going to have to speed up, mate. Come on.
Come on, you got this.
Oh, come on, Sunil.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to satisfy 5 experts who will only raise their hand when they get the view they want on that screen.
Here we go, here we go. What have we got?
And if our model goes, ow, we stop.
Yes. Oh, it's looking a bit blank.
Oh,
You can do this. That's it, tilt it up a bit.
It's too much smoke.
Yeah.
Can't see the screen.
you can shout out higher
Okay.
or lower.
Bit
Come on,
more
does it need to
medium.
go higher or lower?
Higher.
To the left-hand side.
Pass.
You can pass if you want.
You can
And
pass,
you can-
Sunil.
you-
Pass.
He's passing.
Okay.
What's
Okay,
next?
IVC.
The IVC. Oh, there's something on screen.
Gain. Higher on the gain.
Hey!
Yay!
We've got 5. We've
Yes,
got
5
5.
hands.
Next,
Left kidney.
left kidney. He's on the left-hand side. He's on the right side. Here we go.
It's fine. You
Give
can
him
use
some
a different
clues.
probe.
Come on.
Can you take a deep breath?
Oh, he's nearly there.
What?
Full
One,
view, full view.
one hand wants to go up. Do it. Chip.
They're tough judges. They're tough.
Yeah, I'm going to give it that.
Oh, we've got 1 hand.
One
we've got
hand,
2
2 hands, 3 hands,
3.
4 hands. Prashant holding
5 hands. Ray!
30 seconds to
right
go.
lung
20
base.
seconds.
Right lung
Right
base.
lung base.
Come on, you got this.
Oh.
10 seconds. 1,
2 hands.
2.
2 hands.
10 seconds. And we're out.
Oh, we're out of time. We're out of time.
Oh.
Thank you, Sunil.
Oh, good man.
Well done, Sunil.
Yeah.
Thank
2
you
points.
so
See
much.
the curtain.
Nice one.
He didn't mix it.
So
Right.
we can reveal the next
Lucy, are you doing all right? Not too much prodding? No? Good. Okay, let's welcome our next contestant.
Quick. Let's go, go, go.
Who have we got, Piers?
Who's next? Jafar. Come on
Jafar! Yes.
in.
Right, Jafar. If you stand behind Lucy there, are you familiar with that ultrasound machine?
Yes.
Good, because I'm not, so I'm glad someone is. Do you understand the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not as confident as Sunil was, is he? He's not. Let's see. Right. So we're going to shout out body parts. You scan them as quickly as you can. All right.
And you have the option to pass if
You have
you
the option
don't
to
believe
pass.
she has
Yeah.
that particular body part.
Right. Let's count Jafar in. 3,
3,
2, 1.
Apical 4-chamber view.
Apical 4-chamber view. Oh, he's quick. He's quick off the mark. Oh, no. Wrong probe. Wrong probe.
Got this.
Oh, what has he got?
Yeah. Got this.
Help him.
Tilt it up a bit. Tilt the beam.
Come on, shout it out, guys.
More. Towards the middle.
You got a view.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah.
Other way, other way.
Yeah. Other way. Well done. Yeah. Well done.
Hey.
Come on, you got this, Neil.
There. No, lay down.
You can pass if you want, man.
You can pass if you don't believe she has that body part.
3-minute
Oh.
Stop.
Yes.
Come on, judges.
Okay, IVC.
You have to get
Yes.
5 hands in the
Next.
air. Pass it. Next.
IVC.
IVC. They're tough, the judges. We had some people see it here.
1 minute on the clock.
Jafar, this is timed, by the way. We're on a time frame.
Okay, press.
Oh.
Yeah, you got this. Oh, top right. Top right. Come on, okay.
Good lad, come on.
Yes. That's it.
Unfreeze it.
That's it. Yes.
Whoa. Yes, well done. Next
Okay.
one.
Left kidney.
Left kidney, Jafar. Left kidney.
Same probe. Nice. Lube up.
Go.
Other way around, other way around.
Yeah.
Go, JJ. Get back. You're so close. Go on. Yeah.
Oh, we're out of time! Oh, no!
Yeah, I did.
And we're out of time.
Let's put it your hands together for Jafar! Well done, well done, well done.
Nice one.
Lucy, are we
please
doing all
prepare
right?
our next contestant.
Let's just clap for Lucy again. Come on.
Awesome.
Right, PS, who have we got next?
Amna!
Amina, come on.
You got this.
Come on, Amina, behind here. Now, do you understand the rules, Amina? Yes, you do. I'll be honest with you, the boys haven't done too well. They haven't. So you can really blow them out the water here and put yourself first. Are you confident?
Yeah.
She's confident, everyone! Woo! Let's do it. You might want to stand closer to the machine to start. Okay, so by this time, Sunil was lubing up, ready to go. So you might want to think about putting some jelly on the probes.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
Cardiac one.
No conferring! No conferring! Not yet. Right, let's start her off in 3, 2, 1.
Apical 4-chamber view.
The apical 4-chamber view. Oh, that's a confident start.
Go on, come on.
Nobody's managed to get this yet.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Apical 4-chamber view.
Apical 4-chamber view.
Yeah. That's it. Well done.
Yeah.
Cardiac. Yeah.
Yeah.
Face array.
Good.
Next one.
This
Next one.
one.
That's it.
One along. That's it.
Yeah, you good.
Nice.
Further down.
Below that, the lower view.
Apical
That's
4-chamber.
it. That's it. Down.
Help her out.
Hey!
It's looking good.
Yeah, come
Oh.
on.
You got this. Tilt up.
Come on, Amna. You can pass if you want to. Give her some help. Oh!
Yes, done
Yeah! Well done.
it. Next one.
IVC.
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 Keep it.
Same
Right.
probe. IVC. IVC.
See you.
That's it. Subcostal. Bottom.
Oh!
Turn it.
Take a deep breath.
Turn it.
Turn.
Keep going.
Turn.
Oh, that's amazing.
More.
Turn.
That's an
Bit
IVC.
more. Turn.
I'm in this.
A little bit more.
Tilt it.
Go on.
Keep going.
Yes.
We're rooting for you.
30 seconds
Come
left.
on,
Keep
come on,
going.
Amina.
Yeah.
Rotate.
Keep rotate. Keep. No.
Clock.
This is the one.
Come on. Turn. Keep
Oh,
turning.
you're so
Do you want to pass?
Back on. Yeah.
Yes. Next.
Left kidney.
Left kidney. Quick, you're running out of time.
That's it.
Left kidney.
That's fine.
Come on.
Same probe.
You can win this. Quick. Oh, no. So close. Put your hands together for Amna. Woo. Stay there, Amna. Stay there. Let's get our other 2 contestants out.
Come on.
Let's thank
Contestant.
our judges, everyone. Thank our judges. Woo!
There's one more.
Oh, there's one more. I'm so sorry.
Ibrahim.
I'm so sorry. Amina, off you go. I know. I'm sorry. Ibrahim, I forgot about poor Ibrahim. Right. Ibrahim is next. Ibrahim, do you understand the rules?
Scan as much organs I can within the time limit.
That's right. Ibrahim knows the rules. Okay, Ibrahim, over to the machine.
Okay. And is it
It's
all?
chaos, I know. Here we go.
Is it all
Right.
one probe?
No. Any.
No, it's a
use
wide
any
selection
probe.
of probes.
Sorry.
Competitive
Okay.
probing. I don't know if it's ever been done live on stage before.
Right. Ibrahim, they haven't done so good so far, so let's see if you can do better.
Pressure is off.
Yeah. Right, okay. Let's count him in 3, 2, 1.
Apical 4-chamber view.
The apical 4-chamber view.
Gently, sorry.
Come on, you got this.
Come on.
Oh, it's a good start.
You can help him, guys. You can help him.
Selection.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Really.
Come on.
Could you come on the left side for me, please? No, the other side.
Oh, that's a popular maneuver.
And you can pass on any body part if you like.
Nearly there. You're nearly there.
It's a bit awkward, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry. You have not got left.
Pass it, pass.
Pass it.
Pass it. We're saying pass it.
Okay,
Next.
IBC.
IBC.
See, okay. Sorry. Here you
Nearly
go.
there, we're nearly there.
The judges' hands are looking.
There.
Yep.
Aorta.
There's only 1 minute to go. The judges.
Yes!
You're in.
Next.
Left kidney.
Left kidney, Ibrahim. Left kidney.
Left kidneys. Okay.
Change the preset. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, there.
That's a kidney.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Yes, we're there. We've
And we're
got
in.
5. Yes.
Okay, right lung base.
Right lung base.
Right,
30 seconds to go.
30
Ten
seconds. Come on,
seconds.
Ibrahim. You get this and it puts you in the lead or tied.
Go on. Come on, you
Sorry.
can do this. Twist it. Gain. Sense of gain up.
Yeah, lung.
Gain.
Oh. Come on.
Up the game.
You've got this.
Nice.
Oh, we're out of time. We're out of
We're
time.
out of time.
Put your hands together for Ibrahim. Well done. Well done.
So it was a bit hard, I'm sorry.
And this time, really do put your hands together for our judges.
Yes.
Woo! And for Lucy. We get the contestants out.
We have a tie.
Oh, we have a tie.
So
We have
the
a tie.
judges, 3 people got 2 correct body parts, beautifully scanned with all hands in the air. So it now comes down to, well, I suppose artistic interpretation and whether you believe they were just about to get it. So to remind you, the 3 on 2 are Sunil and Amna and Ibrahim. Who do you think did it with most power, style and passion without hurting?
One thing we can do is scan another image.
Okay.
You
want
happy with that?
a tiebreaker of those
I'm
3?
timed. Whoever gets it first.
Lucy's loving that idea.
Lucy, up for that? We're going a bit off-piste, but
Okay, it's going to be a mystery organ.
are you happy with that?
Okay, so we're gonna bring them in. We need to mask up all 3 and send us on in the same order they came on first.
Yeah.
Ooh, the tension out there. There's this
Yeah.
makeup,
No.
powder.
So who's coming first? Will it be
It would be
Jafar?
I think that.
the first person with 2 is Sunil.
Oh, Sunil.
Okay, so Sunil first.
Let's welcome back Sunil, everyone. Still got that confident swag. I love it. Right.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We're going to time it.
Sunil, are you ready?
We need to time this, by the way.
Right.
We're going off.
I'm on it.
You're on it.
30 seconds.
Well, as soon as.
Abdominal probe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll say abdominal probe to make it easy for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really know what I'm doing here, but
Yeah,
all right.
so whoever gets the organ the quickest,
All right.
all 5 judges.
Yeah, stopwatch. Okay.
All right, let's count this in, guys. In 3, 2, 1.
Abdominal aorta.
The abdominal aorta.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go on. Go on. Get.
We're in, yes!
15 seconds.
Well
15
done,
seconds.
Sunil. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Sunil. On 15 seconds for Sunil. Very impressive. So next we have Amna.
Let's welcome back Amna, everyone!
Amna!
Woo!
Woo! Well done. You got this.
Come on, Amna, you've got this. You've got this. Right, so we're going to say 1 organ, and you just have to scan it as quickly as possible. Okay, over to the machine. Get yourself ready. I like that. Thank you very much. Right, okay, so let's count Amna in. 3, 2.
Abdominal probe.
Oh, you need the probe?
Abdominal probe.
Abdominal probe.
Yeah, abdominal probe. Yeah.
You ready, Amna? Yep. In 3, 2, 1.
Abdominal aorta.
The abdominal aorta. Scan
Abdominal aorta.
aorta.
Middle. Right down the middle.
Just above the belly button.
Yeah. Get that. Come down. Come down to the tummy button.
Down tummy button, just
Yeah,
above.
just
Press.
scan straight down.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we've got
That
5. There we go.
29 seconds.
29 seconds, Amna. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Round of applause for Amna.
Thank you.
Okay. Ibrahim, all to play for. Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome back, Ibrahim, everyone. Woo! Now, Ibrahim, we're going to name a body part and you have to scan it as quickly as possible. Just the one.
Okay.
Get yourself ready.
Abdominal probe.
The abdominal probe is what you
Abdominal probe.
need.
Okay.
It's a clue.
Give me a second.
Remember, quickest time possible.
With no pain.
No pain. Okay, let's count Ibrahim in 3, 2, 1.
Abdominal aorta.
Abdominal aorta.
There you go.
Ooh, yeah.
We've got it! Yes!
Oh, the judges are just consulting their
Wait,
stopwatches
just seeing how
up there.
quick that was.
It's about 5 seconds.
7 seconds. We have a
7
winner.
seconds. Fantastic.
Dishes.
Now,
Sorry.
I think we should give Lucy a round of applause first of all. Do you want to? Thank you.
Thank you.
And let's get all 4, sorry, I keep saying 3, 4 of our contestants back.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you. And if we could get our experts back in their
And
seats.
thank you, experts. Thank you.
Stay in.
You stay
Come
there.
on in. Come on in.
Welcome them back, everyone. Now, didn't I tell you that each round was better than the last? It gets even better than this, believe it or not. But we do have winners, and sadly, we do have some people that we have to say goodbye to. Now, Piers, who are we saying goodbye to this time around?
Jafar, I'm
Jafar,
sorry.
thank you so much. You don't go home empty-handed, no. You go home this way, and you have won an Ultra Live mug, everyone! Woo! Go and collect your mug, Jafar. There you go. I'm very jealous. I want
Probably
one of those
safer that way.
mugs. Right, that does mean our 3 remaining contestants will be back for the next round after our next visit to Prash and the rest of the panel. So I'll see you soon again. Thank you.
Okay, and if you come this way. There you go.
Cheers, Lucy.
Leave the stage. But we can rotate you if you like. Oh, no, she's had enough. She's had just about enough. Huge round of applause for Lucy, our model. Thank you. Here they come. Swivelly, swivelly. You know what happens next. It's experts in a panel in the same order. Looking good. Thank you for judging that last one. That really, really helped. It went down to the wire. Have you ever seen a competitive scanning competition before? World first, GE. Thank you.
From the chest, I know it hurts.
So,
Really sorry.
over to you, Prash.
Thanks, Piers. Right, so that was quite a tricky round. Let's ask these guys what your thoughts are. So, Ash, any top tips about probe manipulation, choice of probe? Any thoughts or any tips you can give the audience?
Yeah, so, lung ultrasound is a bit my thing, so I thought I'd just mention a little bit about that. But probe selection, you go up to a machine, you're faced with a variety of probes, and all of those probes have got presets, and not only are there presets, but down the side of the screen you can select all these different things. What on earth do you choose? Well, thankfully, I've done all the hard work for you. I've looked at every possible combination of these settings, and I can happily tell you that all you need to do is grab the curvilinear probe and stick it on the abdominal setting. Job's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, for those of you who are thinking, what about lung sliding? The linear probe does just edge it, but we can make our abdominal probe almost as good as a linear one with 4 basic setting changes. So increase your frequency, have your image nice and shallow, have your image nice and dark, and make sure your focus point is in the right place. So we start off with something like this, with a pleural line at the top of the screen. You can see the sliding, but we can optimize it by reducing our depth until we have a nice shallow image, like so. Next step is to reduce the gain, makes the pleural line sharp better, and notice that the focus point is right on the level of the pleural line. And then you'll get images almost as good as a linear probe.
Great, thanks, Ash. Justin, you like needles, insertion, as in outwork. How do you use ultrasound? Any top tips you can give?
Yeah, so I like to do a bit of needling, to be fair. I think in intensive care, we often stick needles into patients, pleural effusions, might do paracentesis for a bit of ascites. If you're really lucky, occasionally you might put needle around the heart. It's great, you know, if you can do that in plane. And this works for regional anesthesia as well, if you happen to do chest wall blocks, rib fractures and those sorts of things as well. You're putting a needle in, you've got it in plane, it looks absolutely perfect. You can see the whole of the length needle, perfect insertion. Life's not like that all the time though, isn't it? So sometimes what happens is that you're there, you're not quite rotated with your beam and you think you're going, and then suddenly the needle just kind of fades away. And you can't see the tip anymore, so you have no idea where it's going because it's gone out of plane. You're mal-rotated. What I often find is, though, is that the next thing that happens, of course, is that people will rotate their beam for their ultrasound probe, and they turn it, and what happens is that when they turn it, they end up with the beam parallel to the needle. And of course, what happens if the beam's parallel to the needle? They can't see the needle anymore, and they panic. And they think, oh my gosh, oh my god, oh my gosh, and then they pull the needle out and they want to start all over again. You don't need to. It's absolutely fine. All you need to do is you simply need to get the beam and you sweep it back into plane again. And I've advanced the slide one too far. I apologize. Let's go back. Is it working? Sam might have to do it for me.
There you go.
Thank you very much. And you sweep the beam sideways, and you find that the needle sits underneath the probe like that. We'll give it a go. And then you see the whole of the shaft of the needle, and you're absolutely fine. No panicking, no rotation, a simple sideways move, and you're back in the game.
Brilliant, thanks, Justin. Johnny, I've heard this term about, I've heard this term about window shopping. What's that? Can you give us a clue?
It's a bit forward, Prash, but there we go. So window shopping. I think we've all heard the term, but in ultrasound, window shopping is something slightly different. So you'll have seen our lovely contestants scanning certain parts of the body. For example, if we say apical 4-chamber view, the thing with window shopping, and I'll get one of these GE probes, they're a bit rubbish these, look, they bend everywhere. But you take your probe, and instead of going for where you think it is according to what the textbook says, don't do that. What you need to do is put the probe onto the chest wall and sweep all around until you suddenly see the image appear on the screen. Once you see that, slow down your movements, then fine-tune. It's a bit like driving a car. We don't look at the indicator when we're flipping it down. When you're learning to drive, you're all over the shop. You've hit a tree, you're trying to look at the indicator, change gear, everything. But it comes hand in hand. When you window shop, you're doing all of these movements in one go that you're seeing on the screen. So that's what window shopping is. And in fairness, I give credit to Sharon Kay for that, because it's a term she uses and I think it's great. So do window shop, everybody, when you're doing your ultrasound. There you go.
Great, thanks, Johnny. And Marcus, finally, any tips you can give the crowd?
I always think of Sharon's voice when I hear that phrase. It's brilliant. So look, I think one of the things when I teach people, one of the things they find quite hard is getting to the left ventricular apex and also understanding how the image moves in relation to the probe. So I try and teach them this, and I use my left hand to show what the image looks like in the field, and I'm going to use this as the ultrasound field coming out from the beam, okay? And they are reciprocal because of the way that the ultrasound is displayed. So if you want something to move sideways, you need to move your beam out in the opposite direction. And if you want to rock that image in the screen, you need to do this to the ultrasound beam. Now, the difficult thing is, this is coming down here somewhere. So there's a bit of this. And I start feeling a bit like David Brent when I do this. But, you know, get what I mean. So this is the point we're trying to make. These are the images that we see. That's rocking the beam. Sliding the beam side by side. And then this is moving to rock it and swing it in the field. And the other thing people struggle to look at is to know when you're on the apex of the left ventricle. So the first thing to look at is the RV shaped like a bullet? And is the RV shaped like a sail? If it is, you're probably on the right spot. And the apex of the left ventricle is the thinnest part of the whole ventricular wall. It's very, very thin. So if it looks thicker than the side walls, then you're cutting through it obliquely and it's not quite right. And the final bit is that the apex doesn't move. The whole heart moves up and down towards it, which is counterintuitive. But if you can see here, this is a thin and immobile left ventricle, apex. That means that you're on the right thing. Oh, and finally, you sometimes see the pulmonary veins coming in at the bottom of the left atrium. So yeah, if you can do all of that, you're going to get the right view, and you're on the apex.
Thanks, Marcus. That's great. How are we doing for time?
Fantastic. Yeah, very good. A lot of people on Slido saying thank you for the expert panel, which is great to see. And just a reminder, if you're not on Slido, why are you not on Slido, both in the hall and at home? All you need to do is go to slido.com and type in the number I'll give you in a moment, or download the free app called Slido from the App Store. And then all you need to do is go on there and type in the code 221-8359. 221-8359. And just to prove that this is worthwhile, I'm just going to get some of these questions here. So, question for the panel. I have no idea this is coming up. Can the expert panel suggest best ways to support primary care practitioners to develop POCUS competencies, thus reducing or improving referrals to secondary care?
I think that's a really good idea. There is stuff happening in the UK. It's slow. But I think to avoid hospital avoidance, diagnostic skills.
So hospital at home stuff. I mean, that's the thing that your specialty, acute medicine, is really picking up, isn't it?
Right.
That,
well, let's chat whoever that is.
Take more out, but
it's a great idea, and there are a couple of people who are doing it. 100%. And not just echo, all ultrasound, I'd say, because it's now a generalist skill. I remember when this started out in cardiology, and I was, sweeping the floors trying to do one echo probe just to get a hand on the probe. But now things have all changed. This is a multi-purpose, ED.
I would say that I think remote supervision is going to become a bigger thing. The technology is already picking this up, and I know there's some things to come down the line from GE. So I think that will really open up training for everybody in the hospital, outside the hospital, even at home. So yeah, I think watch this space.
The one thing I would say is paramedics are now out of hospital in the pre-hospital medicine. That's now picking up as well. So I think things are evolving quite rapidly. So it's positive.
Wonderful stuff. Great. So isn't that amazing? Just from Slido directly to your ears and straight out, and that connection has been made. It really, really works, this. And just a little compliment to keep you happy. Great tips regarding using curvilinear for PL sliding. Thank you very much indeed. And way too exciting, that last game. I think that's a winner, that particular session. It works, and we may not introduce things at that speed in the clinical setting, but it was great fun and people learnt a lot. So, huge thank you to our panel again. Thank you, experts. We love you. They will be back. Thank you very much indeed. So, we move on. What is coming up behind the curtain this time? Oh, it's buzzers again.
Buzzers. Right. Another great chat there, Piers. I really enjoyed listening to that, particularly that last question about primary care.
Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah, definitely more can be done in primary care and so we can get diagnoses quicker and the right people to hospital. Okay, now it's time for round number 3, which is called I See You. Ooh. See what I did there? No, it's not a game of hide and seek, though that would be fun too. But let's welcome back our remaining 3 contestants. Come back in. We've got Sunil, Amna, and Ibrahim.
Welcome back.
Here we go. Right. Now, this game, you'll be shown a clinical scan image on the screens. Now, for you guys, that will appear up there. For you guys, you can look at these 2 screens down here, whatever is easier. And I want you to kind of buzz in, and you'll be shown the image, buzz in with the correct answer, say what it is, say what you see, and the correct answer will give you 100 points and the opportunity to try the Ultra Round. Woo! Now, the Ultra Round will be covered up slightly. The image will be covered up with 9 squares, and each square will be removed. Think catchphrase. I'm not allowed to say catchphrase either, but here we go. Now, you only have 10 seconds to identify each image when it comes to it. So, if you identify the image correctly, if you get the ultrasound image right, you get 1,000 points. Now, whoever has the least points at the end of this game is eliminated. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Kind of. It'll make sense as we play along.
I don't need to wait for the 10 seconds if I know it from the start.
You don't have to wait 10 seconds. No, you have to get it within 10 seconds.
Okay, got it.
So the quicker, the better, Ibrahim.
Right.
There's a theme. The quicker you answer these questions, the better it is for you. Okay. So is everybody ready? Yes? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Come on, Amina. Look alive. Come on. Right. Okay. So buzz in if you know the clinical diagnosis of this video. Hang on a second. Before we start, actually, Prash, you're going to do a lot of the heavy lifting here because you actually know what you're looking at, as I don't. So, Prash, if you give your answers to Prash, he will tell you whether they're right or wrong and tell us a little bit about each video. So, are we ready? Yes? Let's count this in 3, 2, 1. Oh,
wow, okay.
quick.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, Sunil, go ahead.
Okay.
What do you think?
So I'm thinking, looking at B lines from the pleura.
Yeah, so what do you think diagnosis?
So depending on the pleural thickness, I would say it looks like cardiogenic pulmonary edema.
You know, I'll give you that.
Got it right!
So guys, like he said, you check the pleura. There's loads of B lines that can coalesce, so this could interstitial lung edema. Yeah.
Okay, now, Sunil, you were quick to buzz in there. I feel like you buzzed before you actually saw the image and then just kind of hope for the best. Let's see if you can do the same here. We've got a square removed. Can you tell us what's behind there?
Fantastically useful clue there. Absolutely nothing.
No, we're out of time. Okay. Let's move on to the next image. Oh, Amina.
Who's that?
Amina, over to Prash if you tell him your answer.
Who was first?
Only Amina was first.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you think? I see what these guys are doing.
Yes. I feel like there's a tactic going on here.
This is
okay, give 3 seconds.
LV thickening.
Yeah, which is called what?
And there is thickened mitral.
Yeah, just one.
So we're going to have to take your first answer,
okay,
Amina. I feel like you're giving us a whole essay.
What's LV thickening called?
Sorry?
What's LV thickening called?
It's stenosis of the aorta, which I think, aortic stenosis.
Aortic stenosis, Prash?
No.
No. I feel like I'm at a Viva.
Go for it.
Go on.
Ibrahim?
So LV hypertrophy.
Correct. A left ventricular hypertrophy.
Stop buzzing, we've got the answer.
Hang on.
Sunil.
Okay.
Sunil, wait.
Me?
Who? Okay, who?
No, oh my God.
Yes.
Wait.
Sunil,
What's
we
happening?
haven't got to the next image yet.
Okay, can we stop?
Because
the slides up. Okay, guess this one. Do you know what it is? No. Okay.
We're out of time.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Oh my God.
Sunil.
Okay.
Sunil, go ahead, please.
Okay, what do you think?
So apical dilatation.
Yeah, so what's the diagnosis?
So, I mean, I would rule out ischemia first. Otherwise, it's the, oh my God, the octopus thingy.
Huh?
The octopus trap.
So what's it called? He just buzzed it.
Takotsubo.
Yeah. Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. So guys, remember what Sunil said. Sunil, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is correct. You can get an apical infarct that can mimic that. So remember when you repeat the echoes, normal coronary angio would confirm that diagnosis. Yeah, good. What do you think?
I'm looking at the pericardial effusion in there.
No.
Small pericardial effusion is there.
Okay.
Well, yeah, all right.
Do I get to say?
No, you don't. No. We're moving on to the next one.
Let's move on.
Yeah. It's just in my head. All right, okay.
Ibrahim.
All right, now.
Okay.
I feel like I need to
praise
explain
the
these
Lord.
rules
okay,
again.
So who we got?
Ibrahim.
What do you think?
Ibrahim.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, that's a lung ultrasound. I'm seeing B lines there.
I need more.
Yeah.
I need
Sorry?
more. Diagnosis.
Yeah. So B lines. So pulmonary edema.
It's a good shout.
You're frozen out, Ibrahim. Come on,
no.
Interstitial lung disease or parenchymal disease, pneumonia or something like that.
How many diseases you name it?
I'm seeing a subpleural consolidation.
Carry on. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah.
So likely infection, lung pneumonia.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I'll give you that pneumonitis.
Pneumonitis.
For ARDS as well, subpleural consolidation, B lines. Remember, if it's symmetrical and bilateral with thin pleura, then you're thinking
will the
about
middle solve the
LV
riddle?
failure.
Sunil, what do you think that is?
Any thoughts? Three, two,
2, 1. No, wait. You can't answer yet.
Okay.
This has gone mental.
We're going to go
Okay, yeah, let's go to the next
next
one.
picture.
This didn't
It's Sunil.
This is not how it happened in the rehearsal.
No.
Okay, let's
We didn't rehearse. It was a very different picture in rehearsals, I've got to tell you. Sunil.
They've gone rogue.
Right,
Okay,
instead
so
of
what-
describing it, just give us the diagnosis.
Yeah,
Hydronephrosis.
correct.
Yay! And that's how we do it. Right.
Right. What do you think? Take square away, please.
Oh yeah, pulmonary embolism probably, or a right ventricular strain.
Yeah, you know what?
Are we dilated?
I'll give you that. Right ventricular failure. The guys, a dilated right ventricle. You can see that with septal deviation, like we were talking about. So yeah, good.
It's getting very competitive now. There's the tactics involved. Rules have been thrown out the window. Sunil, I think, well done, though. Well done, Sunil.
Very impressive.
Right, Piers,
Okay, on to
stop
the
us. The game's over. The round's over.
Okay.
Having the round is over.
Yeah, just crack
You're
on.
You're
All right.
leaning on the buzzer. So,
So,
right, Piers, what are the scores?
Well, we've already
after
cracked.
that?
He's already cracked on.
Yeah. So that's aortic valve there, calcified aortic valve.
No, I'm not going to.
Bicuspid artery.
You've got to press. Okay, go on.
I pressed. Oh,
All right. Okay. Yeah.
well,
All right, go on then.
is this a bicuspid aortic valve?
Correct. You see that? Normally it's a tricuspid, like a Mercedes-Benz, but you see the bicuspid, the two there. Yeah, good. Parasternal short axis view, very good. Okay, what do you think that is? Yeah, not so smart now, are you?
How much are left? I haven't answered anyone.
3, 2, 1. No. Okay. Right.
Ibrahim.
All right, clever clogs. What's this?
Ibrahim.
So that's a lung view with the diaphragm and the base of the lung. So
Diagnosis.
Diagnosis
lung
only.
consolidation. So
No,
consolidated
next.
lung.
You can steal. Amina, you can steal.
So it's,
Diagnosis.
Just diagnosis.
sorry?
Diagnosis, please.
It's the fusion and consolidation of the lung.
No.
There is absent
Next.
lung sliding.
Sorry.
It's absent lung
Diagnosis,
sliding
please.
suggestive of pneumothorax or a
Correct.
pleurodysm.
Pneumothorax.
Do you see the lung point there, guy? Absence of lung sliding. That's where it is. Yeah, lung point pathognomonic of pneumothorax. Good. What do you think that is? Carry on.
No, it's a pass. Let's
Pass.
move
Okay.
on.
Let's carry on. All right.
Sunil.
What do you think?
So aortic regurgitation.
How bad?
Thick,
Mild, moderate, severe.
I'd say moderate.
Okay, I'll give you that. Severe.
Well done, Sunil.
So,
You see the jet going all the way up the LV. The LV will start to dilate and fail. So it's approaching severe. Yeah. Okay. What do you think that is?
Go on, Sunil.
No, pass.
It's a pass. It's a pass.
Okay. Tricky one. Oh, okay. I can't.
Ibrahim.
Yeah. It's the. Oh.
Yeah.
I think he's doing that to intimidate you.
Yeah.
No, so just there's small collection between the kidney and the spleen. Depends which right, if it is right or left.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Small collection in between.
That's good.
Hey!
Do you guys see that? The black stuff around the kidney and the liver. Yeah, good. No, carry on. Okay. I'm running out of cases here.
Sunil?
Okay, pericardial effusion.
Correct.
Can I comment?
Hey! Ooh.
Something probably in the DVT area, but I can't see anything.
Passing? Are you passing? We're passing.
Okay.
Large
Ibrahim?
pleural effusion.
Vision.
Correct. Good. And guys, do you see the collapsed lung there, like a jellyfish sign? That's called there. The black stuff is obviously pleural fluid. Yeah, good. Carry on. Okay. Thank God. Yeah. All right.
That's, oh shit. Who's pressed first, sorry?
Sunil.
Oh.
Is it me?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
MPEMA?
Loculated
Complex
effusion.
Have you said
loculated
anything?
effusion.
Sorry, who's doing this? Who's talking?
Loculated.
Loculated effusions.
Sorry.
Loculated effusions.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
We'll give it to us.
So it's a loculated, it's quite a complex pleural effusion you could see there. Yeah. Oh, now have a go.
Diagnosis.
This is doable.
Yeah. Continue. It's the lung ultrasound.
It's an ultrasound, yeah.
Lung ultrasound.
In
With
3,
Two.
2,
Air
1.
bronchograms. With air bronchograms, consolidated lungs with air bronchogram.
What's the diagnosis then? What's the diagnosis?
Consolidation. Pneumonia.
Shall I give it? No, okay, I will. Okay. Pneumonia, yeah. I'll give it. I'll give it.
Yeah, we got it. Pneumonia, yes.
Well done. Consolidated lung you see there, hepatized lung, which mimics kind of the liver, doesn't it? That's why it's called hepatized. And you can see some air bronchograms there, which is the white stuff, which has now gone off screen. But anyway, there you go. Good.
Very tightly fought round that.
That was.
And we have to finish it there. We've run out of people to diagnose now. The NHS is delighted and the show must go on.
And what are the scores after
Well,
that?
the scores are, I'm afraid we're losing. Ibrahim will be removed from, but a huge round of applause. Very impressive. But now, to equal, and don't
Ibrahim,
forget,
you don't go home empty-handed. You get a mug.
Mug, and you can go and sit
Well
down
done,
and
well done.
start.
Well
drinking
done,
very shortly.
Ibrahim.
Congratulations and thank you. So
Thanks.
two very worthy competitors.
Definitely. I mean, there was a lot of rule breaking going on there.
Well,
Piers.
the intimidation with the buzzers,
I
we hadn't even
know.
considered that as a possibility, but next time we will know.
Imagine
We will
these
know.
two in the final round. That is what you guys have got to look forward to. Look at them. They're formidable. Absolutely formidable.
Okay, so we can get you off the stage and
Yes.
swivel and see some more
Let's
experts.
yes,
There you
let's
go.
see some more experts.
Congratulations. Thank you. I recommend a drink.
Right, see you soon.
And you know who's behind this screen. They're still awake, they're still alive, and they're pretty expert. Yes, they're looking good. Whoa.
Hello.
No accidents, please. Mind you, if you're going to have an accident, a room full of doctors.
Rather be him.
So over to you, Prash.
Right, Ash, start with you. So some interesting diagnoses there. One of them was pneumonia. Now, there's a few ultrasound skeptics around, hopefully not here, and they've often asked me why bother with ultrasound if you can get a CT, because that's what they're going to end up doing, particularly in ITU. So what's the point?
Yeah, interesting. So I used to get asked, well, why do ultrasound when you can do a chest X-ray? But I think people have pretty much accepted now that ultrasound is just way better than chest X-rays for diagnosing the cause of acute respiratory failure. CT scans are a lot easier to get nowadays, aren't they? Particularly if you're working in an intensive care unit. Just whisk your patient off to CT. Why not go for the gold standard? Fair question. Okay, let's look at this ultrasound image. So here we've got a very densely consolidated lower lobe. And not only can you see the consolidation, you can see dynamic air bronchograms. You can see the air moving in and out of that consolidated lobe. You're never going to see that on a CT scan. Look as well, you can see a small parapneumonic pleural effusion, and within that you can see a small fibrin strand down at the bottom right. Now, what many people don't realise is that ultrasound actually has a better resolution than CT. And you probably wouldn't see that fibrin strand on a CT scan. So, ultrasound gives you pretty good pictures. And we know that 90% of consolidations reach the pleura, so you can see 90% of them. Here we've got a large pleural effusion. I think this might have come up in the previous round. So loculated, again, those fibrin strands, it's becoming complicated. But again, you might not see those loculations at this stage on a CT scan. So it's a fair question. Yes, CT is generally the gold standard, but there's lots of other reasons for using ultrasound as well. You don't have to transport your sickest patients around the hospital. It's much quicker just to get the ultrasound machine out. And of course, you can repeat it as often as you like.
Very comprehensive, got to say, thanks. Right, Justin and Marcus, I'll ask you guys. So pericardial effusion, it's often been taught, is it clinical or physiological diagnosis? What do you both think, or what do you think?
Well, here's a case from this year. I've got a patient who looks, for all intents and purposes, as though they're septic on the intensive care unit. And they've got high lactate, they've got a low blood pressure. And I do an ultrasound, subcostal view, and I've got a bag of fluid around the heart. I quite like this for this to be moving. But I've got a load of fluid there, and I'm thinking, gosh, okay, this is a sizable amount of fluid. I think I should be probably getting my needle out. And surely this has got to be tamponade. There's so much fluid there, it's compressing the heart. Don't you reckon, Marcus?
Justin, now, the internet's full of stories like this, especially Twitter, where the ventricles collapsed and there's a pericardial effusion, and people say this must be tamponade, but we know that it's probably just the way you're slicing your ultrasound beam. And actually, if they're not hypotensive and shocked, then, it's unlikely to be tamponade, which is a clinical thing. And this is an example of something that I saw a young man presented out of the blue, a game-changer echo, as we've heard about already. And the thing I want to show you about this that's really interesting is the left atrium is really dynamic. And the interesting thing about tamponade is when the ventricle contracts, that's when atrial pressure is at its lowest. I should say right atrial pressure is at its lowest. And you can see here, just remember that the atria contract just before systole anyway. So this is doing what an atrium should do, but it doesn't fill properly. And that's why you see this big dynamic change. Now, the interesting thing about this echo is that I know that the right ventricle is well filled. So this is the first stage of a problem. And, this person was whistled straight into the unit and looked after very, very carefully. Here are some other images of the same thing, just showing that the right ventricle is filled quite nicely. But, of course, if you put Doppler across the mitral valve, you see there's no pulsus paradoxus on here. So this person did not get a drain, but they did get medical management. And just to show you what his heart looked like afterwards, there we have it. So the atrium does move a little bit, and it does contract in diastole, but it's not doing this thing, which must be timed with systole, ventricular systole, for it to be tamponade. Anyway, I'll pass you back, because you've got a bit more story about your case, haven't you?
So you're saying that my lovely ultrasound pictures of a bag of fluid around the heart's not quite enough. I need a bit more physiological parameters.
More views are necessary.
Okay, so if I haven't got more views, what about some more physiology? So I've got the blood pressure and I've got the trace here, and to my mind, that looks like pulsus paradoxus.
Yeah.
So I've got a wavering respiratory variation on my arterial line. Good to go with my pericardiocentesis?
Call the cardiologist.
Okay, or do it yourself, maybe. So thankfully, we've done it, and we managed to get over a litre of blood from around the pericardium. And within about 3 or 4 minutes, I'm off all of my vasopressors, my noradrenaline and my vasopressin, and I've got a blood pressure that looks like that.
Very nice.
So physiology supporting the pictures.
Good job. Too much NORAD there.
Great job.
Yeah. Can't win them all.
It's a different patient, but anyway. Yeah. No, well done, mate. Right. Johnny, ultrasound's in DVT then, the three-point compression test and stuff. I would argue, actually I won't, I'm just asking it, what's the point if it's not a rule out?
So you give me a question after the heroics that we've just seen.
And you've got DVT, yeah.
Right. So DVT, the thing about DVT ultrasound is I think it's underdone, and I think lots of patients do sadly die on the ICU with occult DVTs. But it is quite simple. It is a simple three-point scan. We start up in the groin, and we're looking, if you really want to go high enough at the IVC, which we saw when we were compressing for an abdominal aorta, and you can see that to the left there, or the right of the patient. You can see the IVC and the abdominal aorta above. That's the highest point. But where we start is the saphenofemoral junction, which you can see here. And we look for the saphenous vein, the femoral vein, and the common femoral artery. And it looks like Mickey Mouse. It's lovely. And so we compress there. And the key to this is if a vein compresses when you press the probe from wall to wall, it is highly unlikely there is a DVT in there. So that's point one to press. And then we just simply move down the leg, go to common femoral vein, common femoral artery, press there. If it compresses, no DVT there. And then go behind the knee, forward pressure into the popliteal fossa and compress there. Now, technically, you don't really have to go any lower than that because most DVTs are above the knee or behind and above. And looking at all the smaller veins in the calf and things are sometimes a bit OTT. Then you can do things like pulse wave Doppler on it and continuous wave, colour flow Doppler and pulse wave Doppler, which makes it a triplex scan. You can do all of this by the bed space. So yeah, it may not be a rule out, but it could be a rule in that could help your patient who is hypoxic.
Great, thanks. And there's, we talked about hydronephrosis briefly, didn't we? And let's talk about that. So hydronephrosis, as we know, is dilatation of the renal pelvis, calyces, and infundibula. Here are a couple of slides. Thanks, Johnny. Actually, some nice slides here. You see the black stuff is urine in the collecting system of the pelvis on the left, and of the calyces that are, so it's at least moderate here, isn't it? On the right, it's quite severe. Causes, as we know, are any obstruction, so you think about blockage, whether it could be a tumor, a stone, benign prostatic hypertrophy. Reflux can do this, vesicoureteric reflux, so keep that in mind. In kids, it's the SFU and ONN criteria have often been used. In adults, there are 4 grades. So mild is, as it says, 1 to 2 are mild. You get mild dilatation of the pelvis without calyceal dilatation in 1. In 2, you get both mild dilatation of the pelvis and the calyces. In 3, you get moderate dilatations. You notice that the fornices tend to be blunted with flattening papillae. And grade 4, you get severe. And you tend to get cortical thickening, which can suggest renal atrophy, which tends to be a chronic condition with loss of borders with the renal pelvis and calyces. Some people use AP diameters. I'm not particularly keen. I don't know about you guys. It's a dynamic index. It can be affected by bladder filling and respiration, so don't bother with that. Differential diagnoses include an extrarenal pelvis, prominent renal vasculature, like a cyst as well. So make sure you do coloured Doppler over that. If there's colour flow, that's a really good indicator that it's probably vasculature. And as we know, at least at AKI and permanent nephron loss. So a lot of inter and intra-observer variability with grades. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm less about grades, but more about if you see it and it's dilated, you refer and either, do something about it. That's me. Thanks.
Brilliant. Absolutely excellent stuff. And a lot of people are saying, thank you very much for all of the care and attention you've put into creating these slides and these images and collating it and getting the right ones that work for the audience. So, huge round of applause. Thank you very much to our experts. Thank you. And coming up next, what is behind the screen? A single chair.
Single chair. That's always ominous. That's always ominous, isn't it?
The pressure is on.
The pressure is definitely on. Welcome back, everyone. It's the moment we've all been waiting for, our 4th and final round. Piers, just remind us, what's the prize to our winner?
Well, we said at the beginning, I think we said at the beginning that they would be given a V-Scan Air handheld ultrasound machine. Ooh. However, That's wrong. They will be given an education grant to buy the Scan Air handheld ultrasound machine. Now, I just have to read out these terms and conditions apply. GE Healthcare terms and conditions apply. Offer available to over 18s only. No cash accepted as a... And anything you do say may be taken down and used as evidence against you in a court of law.
Absolutely. Rules are rules.
Or
I think
must.
someone needs to explain that to Sunil, though.
Yes. Or Mr. Buzzer, as he will be known at home.
Now, we are down to our final 2 contestants. Should we get them on? Should we get Sunil on?
We get one contestant on, and the other is in the silent disco heaven backstage.
Sunil, come back
have
on.
Sunil!
Hey, it's Sunil, everyone. Come and take a seat. Sunil, this is it. This is all that stands between you and that educational grant, which will get you a VE Ultrasound Air machine. What are you going to do with that?
Don't say eBay. Don't you dare say eBay.
Yeah, I just keep it in my daily practice. I
Use it at
ultrasound.
work. Yeah, good answer. Good answer. Now, this is a tough round, Sunil. There is no buzzer, but you can shout out the answers as soon as you know the answer. If you don't know the answer, just pass. So it's called the face-off, the round where we will ask these probing questions. Each contestant will answer as many questions as they can in just 2 minutes. And you'll go first. Now, there are 2 sets of questions here, set A and set B. I'm going to read them out. Would you like to go for questions set A or set B?
A.
A. He's gone for A, everyone!
Oh!
Hey! Right, we've got 2 minutes on the clock. If you don't know an answer to the question, say pass, and we'll move on to the next question. And we're going to count this in. Let's count him in. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1. When ultrasound encounters a specular reflector, it can sometimes cause the appearance of a duplication of tissues. What is this called?
Mirror artifact.
Yes! Okay, the posterior tibial, anterior tibial, and perineal veins coalesce behind the knee. What is this point known as?
Trifurcation.
Yes! Apical ballooning of the left ventricle in response to severe stress is named after the Japanese for an octopus trap. What is it called?
Takotsubo cardiomyopathy.
Yes, good lad. Aortic stenosis and systemic hypertension can cause hypertrophy of the left ventricle. What kind of hypertrophy do they usually cause?
Generalized, is it symmetric hypertrophy?
Concentric. That's incorrect. Eliminating the volume of the bladder usually involves multiplying the lateral, anterior, superior, and sagittal distances and multiplying them by what value?
0.52.
Yes, good. Christian Doppler was a physicist and mathematician who first observed that the observed frequency of a wave depends on the relative speed of its source. What nationality was he?
Pass.
Pass. Austrian. What name is given to the maximum Doppler shift frequency that can be correctly measured without resulting in aliasing in color or pulsed wave?
Pass.
Pass. The Nyquist limit. When assessing cardiac output using VTI, the left ventricular outflow tract diameter is often estimated. What value is used for this?
It's pi r square. No, pass.
2 centimeters.
Oh.
Brachiocephalic artery, left common carotid artery, and what other structures seen from the suprasternal echocardiography view leave the aorta at its arch?
Left subclavian?
Yes, well done. The portal triad or Mickey Mouse sign on liver ultrasound comprises the portal vein, hepatic artery, and what other structure?
IVC.
The common bile duct. Oh, well done, Sunil. Well done.
Congratulations.
Right.
So, our
let's
next
welcome
contestant.
Amina back to the stage. Amina, come and take a seat. Did you think you'd make it to the final round, Amina? No, neither did I. How are you feeling confident?
I'm a bit confused now.
Don't worry, it's got you this
very
far.
good, yeah.
Just take it to the next level. So you have to answer these questions as quickly as you can. You can say pass if you want to, if you don't know the answer, and move on. Now, Sunil took questions A, so you've got question B. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's counter in 3, 2, 1. Thickened pulmonary interlobular septa arising from either lung fibrosis or excess water cause an ultrasound reverberation artifact, better known as what?
Next, I didn't get the
B lines. Minimizing the number scan lines allows us to discern fast-moving structures such as those found inside the heart. What kind of resolution does this refer to?
pass.
Past temporal. A reduction in ultrasound attenuation leading to excess brightness behind fluid containing structures is called what?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yep. A reduction in ultrasound attenuation leading to excess brightness behind fluid containing structures is called what?
Bones?
No, posterior acoustic enhancement. The Mickey Mouse sign is also used in venous thrombosis scanning. Being the largest of the 3 visible vascular structures, what structure is usually represented by Mickey's head?
It's the division of, it's the it's the femoral vein.
Yes!
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Yes! In a parasternal long axis cardiac view, what structure sits behind the left atrium and is used to identify the origin of fluid collections?
It's the right ventricle.
The descending aorta. When pericardial pressure rises, which cardiac structure gets compressed first?
Right atrial pressure.
Yes, the right atrium! Severity of renal dilatation or hydronephrosis can be numerically graded. How many grades of severity are there?
4.
Yes! Which spectral Doppler trace is characteristically filled in?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Oh, I will start it so we'll
Started
finish.
so he'll finish.
Which spectral Doppler trace is characteristically filled in?
Sorry, pass.
No, the continuous wave Doppler. Let's put your hands together for Amina. Now, we're going to go back to our clinical faculty for one last time, aren't we, Piers?
Yes.
Because we're going to tot up the scores in that period.
Check all of the answers. Grey's Anatomy will be in rapid
Everything
use.
has to be verified and above board. So let's welcome back our expert panel.
Is that the leg raise you're doing there?
That's it.
He's demonstrating the leg raise for you, just in case you're in any doubt.
I think he's responsive.
Right, thanks, Piers. So last bit, then you can all have some drinks. Yeah. So I was going to say something. I was going to say something else.
Something else there.
I would have been escorted out. Right. So a couple of random topics. Gastric ultrasound. Let's talk about that. So I don't know if people use it or are a believer in it. I'll ask. I don't know who I'm asking actually. Yeah, I'm asking Johnny and Justin. So it's not pre-planned. So is it clinically useful? Or do you think it's useful for research purposes only, like, for example, with RSIs, NG feeding volumes? What are your thoughts, both of you?
That's really weird that you asked that, because I had a slide as well, which is up. But anyway, so gastric ultrasound has become popular in peri-op medicine and peri-op ultrasound in particular. I've got to be honest, I don't really use it very much in clinical practice, because if you look at this infographic, there's so much information you can gain from it. But actually, is it helpful in reality? Not really sure it is. I'm supposed to be selling ultrasound to you, so apologies for this. But anyway, you can put your probe in the under the Ziffy sternum and scan, looking at the liver and the abdominal aorta, and you should be able to see the gastric antrum. It's usually fairly clear when it's empty, because it's very thick muscular walls to it. So really, binary answer to binary question, is the stomach full? Is this going to be a safe airway or not? And the answer usually is, yeah, it's empty, so it'll be a safe airway for an iGel, or it isn't, it's full. However, there is a caveat to it, that if you scan and you see your gastric antrum and it looks empty, just put your patient right lateral. You must do this because in the right lateral decubitus position, that antrum can actually pop down and out, just as demonstrated by my poor daughter who had to squeeze this, one of these slimy things that they burst on your carpet and ruin everything. Anyway, so she's squeezing this to demonstrate, very sadly, as I told her what it was for. But anyway, place some right lateral decubitus, and you may see that antrum and the stomach contents reveal itself. So there you go. So always do right lateral decubitus.
Interesting.
In the kitchen. Thank you.
Justin, any thoughts?
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that you're a bit sceptical about it, Johnny, because, you know, I like to feel like I'm a pragmatic kind of person. And you talk about getting these patients to be able to see the stomach in the right lateral decubitus. But, I mean, how far over do you need to get them to be able to see the stomach? You know, I often find that it looks absolutely fine when they're supine, and then you kind of get a hint, and you have to turn them, and you have to turn them, and I think, well, why bother? Because quite honestly, if I don't know what to do for anesthesia and stuff like that, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assume that it's full, and I'll treat them like that. But there are some times when I think it could be a bit useful, and you're on intensive care, and the nurse at the bed space has been doing some gastric residual volumes for you, and she says, actually, no, it's good to go. And there are low volumes on the aspirates and things like that. And there's something in your mind, you're thinking, hang on a moment here, I'm sure they've got ileus. Other things are making me think that this can't be right. And what happens is that you get your ultrasound probe and you have a look, and you get this thing, the Starry Night sign, hence the lovely Van Gogh we got to look there. And what does that look like? Well, it's this great big swirling mass of black and white with the air, with the white dots in this fluid. And actually what you find is at the end of the ND tube is tucked up in a little gastric ruga, and actually she's not able, or he's not able to get a residual volume, and actually you use your ultrasound to be able to guide stuff. But I think there's something else that's going on. Have you noticed how celebrities are getting thinner these days? And they're taking some funky diabetic drugs, the GLP-1 receptor antagonist, because actually not only are they controlling diabetes, but they're making people have less hunger. And what is it causing? It's causing quite a lot of gastric stasis. And there are lots of people around the world now finding that there are people who've had their injection the day before, and they fasted since midnight and stuff like that. But actually, that stomach is pretty full, because they've got a lot of gastric residual volume, a lot of stasis. So we may find that this sort of thing is something we need to check for. And of course, gastric residual volume with the ultrasound may be something that's useful for us. Watch this space.
Really interesting. Thanks, Justin. And finally, last thing, we'll end on Vexus, shall we? So, don't know if people use Vexus, a controversial area. What? Let's start with Marcus and Ash. Sure.
I'll take that from you.
And what? Are all patients with edema Vexus positive, and what are your thoughts about it?
So look, you know, people come to ICU, most of them don't have edema, but they certainly get it quite frequently. And mechanistically, it's really interesting. You know, it's the lymphatic system which turns over about 8 litres of fluid a day, all the time, constantly. And in disease, it can be 50 times that. And it's only when the lymphatics get overloaded that we get all this edema and the congestion that we see. And interestingly, of course, the whole of that lymphatics really drains back into the neck, into the great veins in the neck. So if you have venous congestion, high right heart pressure, it's when this system gets overloaded that you get the edema. And interestingly, all the circulation, they dilate, and the little valves in the lymphatics become incompetent. So the problem for this is also that congestion runs through all of the encapsulated organs, and when the venous drainage pressure is high, you then get that problem with blood flow and organ injury. And these two are the big encapsulated organs that we worry about. We do know about the central venous pressure. We may remember from our training days that the X descent is when the heart contracts. It's when the atria is at its lowest pressure. We talked about that already. And the Y descent when the tricuspid valve opens. But those two things are the things that determine early and active filling. And we can see this in the venous flow through the hepatic vein. And the S wave being what we call the systolic wave, that early filling wave. Now, if you look at the top of this panel here, you can see the hepatic waveform I just showed you, and that's low venous pressure. Leave the other stuff just for a minute and track across. Now this is, as pressure rises in the venous system, that S wave gets smaller, and eventually when the pressure is really high, it gets reversed. It's that sort of tricuspid regurgitation state. Now, we can look at that across the hepatic vein, but other veins too. As you'll see here, the portal vein becomes increasingly pulsatile, and the intrarenal venous Doppler, which is below the line here, just ignore the things above it, you'll see that it goes from continuous to interrupted, and then from interrupted to this sort of single pulse image. Now, the more of those severe abnormalities we see, the higher this VEXA score, so-called, and we know there's a strong association with kidney injury and other problems. But I'm going to throw this back to Ash to finish off and tell us a bit more about VEXAS from his point of view.
Yeah, so VEXAS is like the new kid on the block. It's only been around a couple of years, and when something new comes out, people get really excited about it, and they'll beetle off and start doing all this scanning on patients on their unit. And then a lot of people have ended up quite disappointed. And they've been disappointed because they're scanning quite significantly edematous patients and finding out that these patients aren't VEXAS positive. And people have this idea that VEXAS scoring is some kind of volume monitor, and it isn't. If that's what you're doing the scan for, you are going to be disappointed. So what VEXAS does, really, it's a surrogate for right atrial pressure, not volume. There we go. And there's a study that just came out in May showing a really good correlation between a high VEXAS score and right atrial pressure, and the QR code will take you to that. So when you're doing VEXAS scoring, you're not measuring whether someone is fluid overloaded or not. You are using it as a surrogate of right atrial pressure. So it tells you if venous pressures are likely to be causing organ congestion and therefore organ dysfunction. It's going to help guide you with fluid removal, diuresis, renal replacement therapy. You can take fluid off until the patient stops being so VEXAS positive. It's clearly a sign of fluid intolerance, and it's a marker of things like pulmonary hypertension and right heart failure. So if you're using it for the wrong thing, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're using it in the right way, it's going to give you some useful information.
Thanks, Ash. That's great. Are we
Brilliantly done. Thank you. Thank you. Huge round of applause for our expert panel's final appearance. Thank you. Hi. They might be in the bar later.
See you in the bar, guys. Another fascinating, I know, an empty stage. What does that mean?
What does it mean?
It means it's time to crown our winner.
It is, but look at the magnificent crown we've got. Look, no expense spared or indeed spent.
Oh, wow.
Looks like landfill. But it is the result of a long, hard night for the competitors.
It really is. Here we are. Our scoring has been completed and verified. So, peers, let's bring back our final two, Amina and Sunil. Woohoo! Haven't they been fantastic, everyone? All right. So, should we crown the winner?
We shall crown the winner.
Let's do it. A drum roll, everyone. Come on. Ooh, our winner tonight.
3, 2, 1. Sunil!
Well done, Sunil.
And I was an Ultra winner at Ultra Live. Nobody else has that mug.
Nobody else does, apart from most of you guys. So now, Amina, commiserations. You were so close, so close. How does it feel to be this close but not quite win that crown?
So yeah, the last round was so quick that I was not familiar with certain terminologies related to this field.
Yeah.
So that's why I was a bit confused.
But you did so well in that ultrasound scanning round where you were scanning those body parts. So well done, Amina.
Thank you. And Sunil, if you could go and sign the contract and get your media appearances.
Amina, don't forget your mug. Is there a mug for Amina?
Well done. Amir, yeah, if anyone has any questions on that last round or anything in general, we can amalgamate all the questions later, and feel free, you know, we can set up a session about that, because there's loads of information here. I think everyone wants a drink now because they've had enough. But
Yes, it's that mention of, was it 10 litres, 8 litres a day? I could see everyone go, ooh, fine idea.
Well, that's it. We're at the end of our show, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have in putting it together. Recording of the event will be available on demand, and thank you to GE HealthCare for bringing this event to life with the yes. And the Intensive Care Society, Prash, Marcus, Johnny, Justin, and Ashley, aka the Backstreet Boys of Ultrasound, the clinical faculty.
guys, can I give a special mention to the people out, GE, Victoria, everyone who's put such a lot of work.
Yeah,
not
Victoria
just today.
O'Connor at GE and her team.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we've got to say a massive thank you to the man who's put this whole night together, who's strung it along with his commentary, Piers.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Piers.
Bye.
We've been waiting for this moment all evening. We put this into our contract, rider, that we get to ride the stage for one final. But we've got to come into the centre for health and safety reasons. There's no doctors in the house apparently. So in 3, 2, 1, spin us! Yeah!
Yes! Bye, everyone! Woo!